Welcome back to Matt's Cooking Adventure, and today we're going to be making these delicious donuts. Before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe. You will need 250 grams of plain flour, a 7-gram sachet of dried yeast, 115 millilitres of whole milk, 40 grams of caster sugar, some salt, some nutmeg, 1 egg, 40 grams of unsalted butter and some sunflower oil. Don't forget that all the ingredients will be listed down below in the description. Now that that's settled, let's get started. So now we need to mix the flour, the sugar, the nutmeg and the salt together. So a tiny little bit of salt. Some nutmeg, also a very small amount, the sugar, and now mix it all up. So now that this is all mixed up, we move on to the next step. We need to melt the butter. Now that the butter is melted, we have to warm the milk in a jug. Now we need to mix the melted butter with the warm milk, add the egg in as well, and whisk that up. Now we need to add the yeast. Now that this is all mixed in, combine it with the dry ingredients. So now that the dough looks like this, don't worry that it's very sticky, it's supposed to be. Get some of your sunflower oil, pour a little bit on your work surface. Make sure your hands are covered. And then take out the dough, cover the dough in the oil as well, and just start kneading. Knead for about 10 to 15 minutes. Don't use flour, because if you do, it will absorb it and become too stiff and like floury, so use oil. So we're about 5 minutes in and you can already see the difference. It's like very soft and elastic, which is what you want, so I'm probably going to go for another 5 minutes or so. So now that it's all kneaded and it's very soft and elastic, get a glass bowl, lightly oil the bottom and the sides, place your dough in it and cover it with cling film and leave it to set for 1 to 2 hours or until it has doubled in size. So it's been in there for 2 hours and it's grown massive. It's definitely doubled in size, maybe even tripled. So what we're going to do now is take off the cling film, take it out of the thing and knock all the air out. Like, just knead it for a bit, so knock all the air out. Then we're going to sprinkle some flour over your work surface. Cover, make sure both sides are coated in flour, and that your rolling pin is coated in flour. And start rolling it out. You need 2 cookie cutters a big one and a small one to make the donut shapes. And so trying to get as much pastry out of it as you can. Cut them out. Whatever's left, roll up into a ball and put aside. Then cut out the middle of these to make donut shapes. Whatever is left, roll it out again and repeat the process. So this recipe should make 12 to 18 donuts. So now that they're all set out and ready, leave them to rise for half an hour. So the donuts have risen, as you can see. We've cut the parchment into separate squares so they'll be easier to move and put into the fryer. So what you will need to fry it is a deep saucepan, a third filled with sunflower oil, a thermometer. If you don't have a thermometer, I'll tell you when it's the right temperature. I'll give you some tips. And one of these racks so you can put the donut straight into the racks and let all the oil drip off them. So we've put the thermometer in and it should be 160 degrees Celsius, so it's just warming up at the moment. But if you don't have a thermometer, a way to check is to drop a little bit of bread in and it should brown in about 30 to 45 seconds. So what you want to do, it's 160 degrees Celsius by the way, put it in and gently just like that. So you see it starts bubbling gently and you want to put it in for about 20 to 25 seconds on each side. So once it's browned, turn it over. So while they're frying, I've made this caster sugar and cinnamon mix. So you want like some caster sugar and like a teaspoon of cinnamon. Mix it together to make this like dust almost. So now that they're ready, take them out to the rack for a few seconds, like this. And once they're like that, drained nearly all the oil, transfer them to the caster sugar and then coat them completely in the mixture. So we finished frying them and now they're all coated in sugar. Now there's only one thing left to do and that's try them. Alright, let's choose this one. Look how fluffy they are inside and delicious. And look at that, they're so fluffy and soft. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Do that by clicking the button here. See you next time. Bye!